The History of Karthall by the lore-master Elias of the Blind Brothers. As long as Asian's history has been recorded, the great port of Karthall has been considered one of the jewels of the crown of the Falcon Emperors. The name Karthall is believed to derive from the Gelvan Karthall, which can be translated as the Great Green, as the city stood on the edge of the Great Elven Forests. Before there was a city, there stood a great cathedral known as the Vigil of Karthall, built by the angels on the site of one of their first great victories during the Elder Wars. Around this landmark, a fortress was erected consisting in the area now known as the modern-day city's Upper District. From there, the city grew. It was only when the young Emperor Brian Falcon converted to the worship of Elrath that the angels led by the archangels Uriel and Sarah offered Karthall to the Falcons. While Karthall is considered one of the most beautiful cities of the Empire, its actual political status within the Holy Nation has long been a matter of debate. Located far from the imperial heartlands, the city and the surrounding peninsula are sometimes considered the seventh duchy of the Empire. Although it has no duke and no real power, making it in effect an imperial protectorate, day-to-day matters are handled by a city council that convenes in the Vigil, but Karthall has no army of its own, and must rely on the support of the neighboring duchies of Unicorn and Greyhound, and is usually represented by a governor appointed by the Emperor. Of course, Greyhound and Unicorn try to impose their own candidates for the position, as Karthall represents an important trading center with Ireland and the Seven Cities, and therefore an important source of wealth. So far, no governor of the Aegean Peninsula has been a child of Karthall or the peninsula. It can, however, occur that the imperial throne selects its own candidates as governor, as is the case with the current governor, John Morgan. Morgan succeeds Lant Montbard, a Greyhound governor, believed dead during the Second Eclipse. In the centuries that followed the Angel's Gift, human presence in the peninsula has been growing. New settlements like Sea Haven and Sorpigal-by-the-Sea have been established. As Karthall and the peninsula continue to grow in importance, some denizens of the city have branded together as the Karthall League, demanding more autonomy and the rights to self-governance. One of their main arguments is the chaos that followed the Second Eclipse, as the city was left to defend itself from the demons on its own. Without the timely arrival of the Duke Anton of Griffin and necromancer of the House Eterna, it is certain the city would have been sacked by the demons and thousands of lives lost. Conservative nobles have been opposed to listening to the League's plea, claiming it would lead to Karthall seceding from the Empire entirely and becoming one of the free cities. The blatant lack of trust has only fueled the League's resentment.